Hello, everybody, back in another video. Oh boy, Jannik Sinner has just won his first ever Wimbledon title in his first ever Wimbledon final and has gotten this beautiful, sweet revenge against Carlos Alcaraz. He has switched the script and has won against Carlos Alcaraz 5 weeks later after his heartbreaking loss in that epic French Open final 5 weeks ago, when he lost that French Open final after having 3 consecutive championship points in that 4th set. Jannik Sinner has now gotten his revenge and defeats Carlos Alcaraz in 4 sets after 3 hours and 4 minutes, and now has won his 9th big title in his career. He has won 4 Masters 1000 titles, like we all know. Now he has won 4 Grand Slam titles, and also we know that he has one ATP Tour final title, which he won that ATP Tour Finals championship tournament last year. Now he has, all in all, 9 big titles, Jannik Sinner, compared with Carlos Alcaraz, who has 12 big titles in his career. Jannik Sinner now has given Carlos Alcaraz his first ever defeat in a Grand Slam final, because Carlos Alcaraz has never lost a Grand Slam final in his career. Now he has done it for the first time. Exactly like Carlos Alcaraz gave Jannik Sinner his first ever defeat in a Grand Slam final in that epic French Open final 5 weeks ago. So now Carlos Alcaraz has played 6 Grand Slam finals and won 5 out of 6 Grand Slam finals. Jannik Sinner has played 5 Grand Slam finals and has won 4 out of 5 Grand Slam finals. So both of these two guys has given each other their first ever defeat in a Grand Slam final. So Jannik Sinner also now become the first ever Italian man to win Wimbledon. Never has an Italian man won Wimbledon before. Now Jannik Sinner became that player to win the first ever Wimbledon man from Italy. So what can we say? Jannik Sinner, which unbelievable tournament from him, really great tournament from him. What can we say about the match? If we look, Carlos Alcaraz started this match best after he won the first set 6-4. After Jannik Sinner actually took a lead in that first set, he had the best lead. So he came out from the blocks best out of these two and had a 4-2 lead, Jannik Sinner. But Carlos Alcaraz, he won 4 straight games in a row and won that first set 6-4. But after that, because neither of these two players, if we talk about the first set, neither of these two players served tremendously good in the first set. Neither of these two players. They both landed only 55% first serves in that first set. So they didn't have crazy amount of high percentage of first serves in that first set. Only 55% each. But when the second set started, Jannik Sinner started to pick up his serve and started to land higher percentage of first serves. It was exactly, and Carlos did the same. If you look at the second set, Jannik Sinner lands 67% first serves in. Carlos landed 61% first serves in. So they served better, both of them, in the second set. But Sinner won that second set 6-4. He started to play better from the baseline. He started to play more solid tennis from the baseline, more consistent tennis from the baseline, and just out-hit Carlos Alcaraz from the baseline in the second set and won that second set 6-4. And in the third set, Sinner continued to serve great, continued to have high percentage of first serves in the third set. In the third set, Jannik Sinner landed 68% of first serves. Actually, that third set was the highest set when it comes in landing first serves. Jannik Sinner, with 68% of his first serves, Jannik Sinner made in the third set. If you compare with Carlos did his worst and his lowest percentage of first serves in the third set with 43% in landing first serves. Carlos Alcaraz did his worst serving performance when it came to land first serves in the third set with 43%. And then in the fourth set, Jannik Sinner landed 56% of his first serves in that fourth set. Carlos landed only 52% of his first serves in that fourth set. So, Carlos Alcaraz didn't have the greatest serving performance in his career, to say the least. Jannik Sinner had a pretty solid serving performance in this match. Much better than Carlos Alcaraz, to say the least. And I said that in my Wimbledon final preview coming into this final, I said that for Sinner to be able to win this match, he needs to land higher percent of first serves than he did in that French Open final 5 weeks ago, where Sinner only landed 54% of his first serves in that epic French Open final 5 weeks ago. Sinner did that adjustment. Sinner did a much better job in this match. On the other hand, Carlos, I said that if he wants to win this match, which he obviously, of course, wants, he needs to land higher. He needs to be over 60% in landing first serves. Because if he's under 60% in landing first serves, he will not win this match. I said exactly these words. And I will come to the stats now. If you look at Sinner, he did 8 aces, 2 double faults, landed 62% of his first serves in the entire match, I'm talking about now, not in each set, and won 75% behind his first serve, Jannik Sinner, and won 60% behind his second serve, which is really great, to win that many points behind your second serve against a great returner like Carlos Alcaraz. That is an indicator, that is a proof to us, that is a testament to us that Jannik Sinner has been the better baseline player. A thing that Carlos Alcaraz actually admitted after the match when he said that from the baseline, he was better than me. In some points, I didn't know how to win the baseline points because he was better than me from the baseline. I didn't know how to win the points. So that's why Sinner won as high as 60% of the points by the second serve. And Sinner broke Carlos Alcaraz's serve 4 times out of 9 breaking position opportunities that he had. And Sinner, all in all, did 40 winners and 40 unforced, which was even Steven in the winner unforced stat. And when it comes to the net, Sinner did a tremendously good job. He attacked the net 40 times and won 30 of those net approaches, which makes it to 75% successful. A thing that I actually mentioned in my preview coming into this final, I said that Sinner, to be able to win this match, he needs to come up with something different against Carlos Alcaraz. He needs to give Carlos Alcaraz the same medicine like Carlos gives to him. He needs to attack the net more. Sinner needs to be less predictable, which Sinner definitely was when he was attacking the net as many times as 40 times, and also was very successful at the net in winning 30 of those 40 net approaches. And so that was a really great net. Sinner did a really great net match and had really great net approaches with great successful, and was really and had high successful percentages with 75% successful at the net. And all in all, Sinner won 125 points in the entire match. Jannik Sinner, he won 125 points in the entire match. If you look at Carlos Alcaraz's numbers, he did 15 aces, 7 double faults, so he does more aces than Sinner, but he also does more double faults than Sinner. Carlos Alcaraz landed only 53% of his first serves. That is the lowest percentages of first serves that he has landed the entire Wimbledon tournament 2025. All the players aim to give and to show their best performance in the biggest match, which is of course the final. All the players aim and wishes to show the highest level in the biggest match, in the most important match, which is of course the final match. It was not the case for Carlos Alcaraz when it comes to the serving department, because like I said, 53% Carlos Alcaraz landed first serves in this final against Jannik Sinner. And that is the lowest percentages of first serves that he has had the entire Wimbledon final. And he did that in the worst possible match. He did that in the final. Anyway, and he won 75% behind his first serve, Carlos Alcaraz, exactly as many points like Sinner won. Sinner also won 75% behind his first serve. Now it comes the big difference here, my tennis friends all around the world. When it comes to winning points behind his second serve, Carlos Alcaraz won only 51% behind his second serve. Compare that with Jannik Sinner, who won 60% behind his second serve. So there you have the biggest difference in the match. Why is that? Why did Sinner win 60% behind his second serve and Carlos wins 51% behind his second serve? That is because of Sinner was better than Carlos Alcaraz from a baseline. That is because Sinner won more points than Carlos Alcaraz from a baseline. That is always the case when a player wins more points than his opponent from behind his second serve, is because the player has been the better one from the baseline. Which is something that Carlos admitted after the match, where he said that from the baseline he was better than me. In some points I didn't know how to win points. So that's why Carlos won only 51% behind his second serve. And Carlos broke Sinner's serve 2 times out of 6 break punch opportunities, opportunities that he had in the entire match, and those 2 times was only in the first set. Carlos broke Sinner's serve only in the first set 2 times. After the first set, Carlos Alcaraz never broke Sinner's serve. Sinner, on the other hand, broke Carlos' serve in all the 4 sets. 1 time in the first set, 1 time in the second set, 1 time in the third set, 1 time in the 4th set. And Carlos Alcaraz did 38 winners and 36 unforced errors. So Carlos Alcaraz does 2 more winners than unforced errors. And now the surprising thing comes here, at least according to me. Carlos Alcaraz attacked the net only 23 times and won 17 of those net approaches, which makes it to 74% successful at the net. So this I didn't see coming. Carlos Alcaraz is usually a player that attacks the net more than Sinner. That is usually the case in their matches. But it was definitely not the case in this match. In this match, Sinner actually attacks the net 17 more times than Carlos Alcaraz. Sinner, like I said earlier in the video, attacked the net 40 times. Carlos Alcaraz attacked the net only 23 times. So I don't know why this was. Because I said it in my final preview video. For Carlos Alcaraz to be able to win this match, he needs to have over 60% landing first serves, which was not the case. He needs to have variation in his game like he usually have against Sinner. Because if he goes toe-to-toe with Sinner from a baseline, he will most likely lose this match. Because from the baseline, nobody is taking Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner is a machine from a baseline. Blow to blow, Jannik Sinner will outmatch everyone in the world from a baseline, including Carlos Alcaraz. I'm not saying that Carlos, and I said it before this final, that Carlos cannot challenge Jannik Sinner time to time from a baseline. Of course he can. It was not like Jannik Sinner was crushing Carlos Alcaraz from a baseline, like he did against Djokovic, because Djokovic won only 17% of his second serve points against Jannik Sinner. But Carlos Alcaraz will not win majority of the points from a baseline, which he didn't. And that's why I'm surprised that Carlos attacked the net that few times. So Sinner, in some way, got this match exactly where he wanted. He wanted to keep Carlos Alcaraz. He wanted to have Carlos Alcaraz staying on the baseline and go rally after rally and go blow after blow with him, because Sinner knows that blow after blow, challenging me from a baseline, I am the best in the world in that kind of tennis, in that kind of a game. So he can, in some way, Sinner made this match go exactly like he wanted. Keep Carlos Alcaraz at the baseline and not at the net. So I'm surprised why Carlos didn't attack the net more than 23 times. Anyway, Carlos Alcaraz did exactly that. He didn't attack the net more than 23 times. So he's pretty good at the net. He won 17 of those net approaches. He's really good at the net. So that to me came as a surprise. Anyway, Carlos Alcaraz won 113 points in the entire match compared with Sinner, who won 125 points in the entire match. So Sinner won 22 more points than Carlos Alcaraz the entire match. So, yeah, Carlos Alcaraz lost this match because of different reasons. He, of course, lost the baseline battle. That is a big key, a big reason why Carlos lost this match. Another big reason why Carlos lost this match was because he landed too few of first serves percentage in. He had too little of first serves in, which was, like I said earlier in the video, 53% only. Sinner had 54% of his, landed 54% of first serves in that epic French Open final 5 weeks ago. Carlos landed only 58% of his first serves in that epic French Open final 5 weeks ago. Despite that Carlos didn't land over 60% of his first serves in that epic French Open final 5 weeks ago, despite of that, he won the match. But this Wimbledon is not played on clay. Wimbledon is played on grass. And on grass, on clay, you are not necessary as desperate in landing crazy amount of high percentage of first serves. Like Carlos did. Carlos did land only 58% of his first serves in that epic French Open final 5 weeks ago. Despite that, he still won the match. But if you take these two guys and put them in a faster court, then you are more. You need more your serve. Your serve, you will get more rewarded with your serve. So it is a huge key having higher percentage of first serves than your opponent. Definitely. So that's why Carlos came away with 58% of his landed first serves in that French Open final 5 weeks ago, because his opponent landed only 54. But in this match, Carlos doesn't come away with 53% in landed first serves in, because on clay, which is the slowest surface we have in tennis, Carlos can scramble points. Carlos can extend points. Carlos is much harder to hitting through because it is clay. It is the slowest surface we have in tennis. And Carlos is a speed demon. He's the fastest tennis player in the world. So Sinner have much harder time hitting through Carlos Alcaraz on clay. And that's why Carlos comes away, even if he doesn't land over 60% first serves in, like he did in that French Open final 5 weeks ago. But when we take these two players on another surface, grass, which is faster than clay, Carlos needs his first serve to be higher in the percentages, because Sinner will have easier time hitting through Carlos. Carlos will not have as easy time extending rallies. Carlos will not be able to defend as great on grass like he can do on clay, because on grass the surface doesn't help him, because it is faster. It is much harder defending. It is much harder extending. It is much harder scrambling points on grass and in all surfaces that are fast. So that's why Carlos Alcaraz lost this match, because he lost the baseline battle. He had too low first percentage of first serves. So that are the reasons. Another reason why Sinner won this match is he outclutched in some way Carlos, and which I said that before this final will be a key also, because in many matches because Carlos had a 5-match winning streak against Sinner, and in those 5-match winning streak, Carlos has been able to outclutch Sinner. In this final, Sinner somehow outclutched Carlos, especially in the fourth set, because Carlos had 2 break point opportunities in that fourth set. He had. Sinner saved both of those 2 break point opportunities that he faced against him in the fourth set. Who knows if Carlos would somehow had broken back and leveled that fourth set and somehow won that fourth set and pushed this match to 5th. Who knows if Sinner would have won? Because we all know that Sinner doesn't have a better 5-set record than Carlos. Who has? Nobody. Carlos has lost only 1 match out of 15 5-setters that he has played, and Sinner has lost 10 out of 16 5-setters that he has played. So, big congrats to Carlos Alcaraz, to Jannik Sinner, for winning his first ever Wimbledon, and definitely not his last, for ending Carlos Alcaraz 24-match winning streak, because Carlos Alcaraz was in a 24-match winning streak, for ending this consecutive 5 defeats in a row that he had against Carlos Alcaraz, for defeating Carlos Alcaraz for the first time since 2023 Beijing semifinal, for defeating Carlos Alcaraz for the first time in Grand Slams in 3 years, because last time Sinner defeated Carlos Alcaraz in a Grand Slam match was in exactly the same tournament, Wimbledon 2022 4th round. So, to be quite honest with you, my tennis fans all over the world, I believed Carlos will win, but of course I was not sure, which I said that in my final preview video. I said that I believed in a Carlos Alcaraz victory more at French Open than I am doing here at Wimbledon, because I picked a 5-set battle here, and I picked that Carlos to win that 5-set battle. And every single time I do that, that means that I'm not sure who the winner will be, because I knew that they will play on grass. They will play on a faster surfaces. And in a faster surface, Sinner has a better serve than Carlos. Sinner will be more rewarded behind his first serve than Carlos will do. Sinner will be able to hit through Carlos much easier than the case was on clay. So when I was analyzing all those things, I was not confident at all in a Carlos Alcaraz win, which now, afterhand, was exactly the case. And that's why I'm not shocked or surprised whatsoever that Jannik Sinner won. For God's sakes, the guy is the world number 1. For God's sakes, the guy is a multiple Grand Slam winner. So how in hell will I be surprised? I just was not brave enough to pick Jannik Sinner as the winner before this final started. Of the reasons, because Carlos Alcaraz had that 5-match winning streak against him. Of the reasons that Carlos Alcaraz was the 2-time defending champion at Wimbledon. Of the reasons that Carlos Alcaraz was Jannik Sinner's kryptonite. So, for me, it is understandable to pick Carlos Alcaraz over Jannik Sinner in this final. At least, according to me, it was fully understandable. But am I surprised that Sinner won? Absolutely not. So now Carlos has 5 Grand Slam titles, Sinner has 4 Grand Slam titles. And to be quite honest, I am happy that Sinner won. Why? Because this rivalry becomes even more interesting. Because if Carlos would have won his 6th Grand Slam title and Sinner would have been stuck with 3, the rivalry would not have been as interesting, as spicy as it is now. Because now Carlos has 5 Grand Slam titles, Sinner has 4 Grand Slam titles. This makes it even more interesting. This makes it even more spicy. All right? So, and now when they go into the US Open in 5-6 weeks from now, or 7 weeks, towards the end of August, Sinner will be the player to beat there, because it is fast surface. In every single Grand Slam tournament or a tennis tournament overall, no matter if it is Grand Slam or not, it is Sinner who is the man to beat. Why? Because Sinner, according to me, is a better fast court player than Carlos Alcaraz, with that big serve, with that big hitting from the baseline. And Carlos Alcaraz is much easier hitting through in faster surfaces than what the case is in slower surfaces. All the reasons I have mentioned in this video. So maybe this was destined for Sinner to win. Consider that he came he escaped in that fourth round against Grigor Dimitrov like Houdini. Who knows, if Grigor Dimitrov would have not got himself injured in that fourth round, he maybe would have taken out Jannik Sinner in that fourth round. We will never get the answer. But nevertheless, maybe this was Sinner's destiny to win this Wimbledon after having a heartbreak of a loss in that epic French Open final 5 weeks ago against the same player, Carlos Alcaraz, after having 3 consecutive championship points. Now, both of these two players have won all the 3 out of 4 Grand Slam titles, 3 out of 4 Grand Slam tournaments, I mean. So, Sinner has won 3 out of 4 Grand Slam tournaments. Carlos has won 3 out of 4 Grand Slam tournaments. Sinner has only French Open to win all the 4 majors. Carlos Alcaraz has only Australian Open to win all the 4 majors. Just consider this. I was thinking when Sinner won this match, if Sinner would have somehow, with some luck, with maybe with the margins on his side, maybe with more braveness, had won that French Open final against Carlos Alcaraz after having 3 consecutive championship points in that 4th set, Sinner would have won all the first 3 majors in the 2025 season: Australian Open, French Open, and Wimbledon. And Sinner would have gone to that US Open having the chance to win the calendar Grand Slam. And Sinner would have been the youngest player to win all the 4 Grand Slam tournaments as 23 years old. Because as it stands now, the youngest player to ever do it right now at the current moment is Rafael Nadal. So, you see how tennis works. You see which kind of a small margins we have in tennis. The margins in tennis are laser thin. So consider that which kind of a heartbreaking loss Sinner had 5 weeks ago in that epic French Open final against Carlos Alcaraz. He really, really deserved this, even though he had huge amount of luck during the way, only in that 4th round against Dimitrov when he was 2 sets to love down. Even though we never know if Dimitrov would have finished the job and won the match and defeated Sinner, we will never know that. We don't know that. We will never get the answer. Nevertheless, tennis is not only winning points more than the opponent, especially tennis has a huge importance to winning the bigger points more than your opponent. Tennis is also who will be the last man standing. Who will be the last man standing? And for sure, Grigor was not the last man standing in that 4th round match against Jannik Sinner, even though he was 2 sets to love up in the lead. So this rivalry for me makes it even more interesting. Of course, this is not fun for Carlos Alcaraz and all of his fans, but me, who enjoyed the big 3 in so many years, I want to see an interesting rivalry. I want to see a spicy rivalry. I don't want to see a player winning a bunch of majors and another player being stuck with 3. And that would have been the case if Carl would have won this Wimbledon. He would have gone up to 6 majors, and Sinner would have been stuck with 3. And the gap would have been much bigger. Now the gap is much smaller. Carlos has 5 Grand Slam titles. Sinner has 4 Grand Slam titles. And when they will go into that US Open in a couple of weeks, it will be very, very interesting to see who will win it: Jannik Sinner or Carlos Alcaraz. For me, Jannik Sinner will be the man to beat in that US Open later this year, the last Grand Slam tournament of the year. So, big congratulations to Jannik Sinner for his, once again, first ever Wimbledon title, for his 4th Grand Slam title, for him to be the first Italian man to ever win Wimbledon and the only Italian man to ever win Wimbledon. He really did that with tremendously good of tennis. When he got a second chance after coming really close of losing against Grigor Dimitrov when he was 2 sets to love down in the 4th round, he really saw that as a lifetime opportunity. He really saw that as a second chance that was given to him. He defeats Ben Shelton in the quarterfinal straight sets. He defeats Novak Djokovic in the semifinal in straight sets, and he defeats his kryptonite that has been called Alcaraz in 2 years' time now in 4 sets in the final. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and see you next time. Peace!